Well, hello there, Taurus. Welcome to Pirate Readings. I'm Lady J, and I'm here to talk to you about April 13th for the 19th. I have the 3 cards in front of me from the overview video, and I have a guiding card for you for the month of April. We're talking about soulful. It can mean many things to many different people. The fact that it's soulful music, soulful thoughts, ideas, dreams, right? Staying centered in our souls and in where we are most comfortable is kind of the gig, right? I find that when we're soul-centered, we live a life of abundance, and that is why there's a bee on this card. Doo-doo. There it is. It's a beautiful way to represent the abundance that life can bring to us when we stay soul-centered, all right? If you are a musician, then you totally get what I'm talking about. If you're not a musician, you're like, interesting, cool, okay. And how do I do that as an accountant? Well, you know, you're going to be able to do that stuff that makes you feel physically good before you get to work. And if numbers are your joy and your love and your passion, well, then you're already living a soulful life. And when you do it, and you do it in a way that helps other folks, then, well, gosh darn it, you're doing it. You're doing it all the right way and in the right place, all right? So good for you, and stay on it, all right? Because we need people like you, those of us who aren't that savvy on the number side, and it really helps quite a lot, all right? So thank you so much. We're going to stop talking about that guy for a minute, but he's here for us at all times, okay? Excellent. I have the 3 cards in front of me, and I'm also going to talk to you now about my spirit messages, my spirit's messages for you. We're talking about 2 different messages this month for all 12 signs. One of those messages is that we need to declutter. We need to let go of our stuff. Anything that's too much, we don't need, right? We need to let it go, because the answer is to stay more people-centered and less stuff-centered, right? And it's a really nice way to exercise that concept by decluttering. And I know that I need to do it a lot, so I'm going to be working on that myself. So it isn't just a one-sided project. It isn't me just telling everybody else what they should do. Please don't take anything I say as a should, all right? It's not a should. It's more of a suggestion, an idea, a possibility that might be useful in your life if you see fit, right? You do you, but it's an idea that might work well for you as well, to keep ourselves people-centered, right? Who knows, you might find that you're selling something that you've loved and cared for years to somebody else who indeed is a new person that you're going to be friends with now. Might make new friends. Excellent. So, excellent indeed. I love that. The other message from my better angels is that it's time to start creating a little community in our lives by reaching across the fence and helping out a neighbor. Literally being of service in some way to a neighbor. It might be as simple as just handing them a plate of cookies because you have no other way of handling it, but it would really be a way of working things out and helping other people see and understand who you are in the world. But also, it's like I said, when we're good to our friends and our neighbors in our community, we kind of drop away from all of the other things that might not match between us and our neighbors. So you and your neighbors may not match on a lot of other thinking terms, but you may find that just being friendly and kind has something more for it than any of the other stuff. So you don't have to focus on the other stuff that you may not agree on at all, but just be a kind person and see how it plays. All right? Cool. All right. Let's go ahead and get into these 3 cards. All right? Here we have them. Oh, but before we do the 3 cards, I have this new deck we're playing with. It's super fun. This is like total pirate vibes. It's a tarot deck, so it's very, very cool. I really am enjoying it. We'll probably use it more extensively next month, but for just a little intro, we're going to do a mystery card this month, okay? So let's go ahead and find you a mystery card for this week, all right? It's right here for you, Taurus. And we are going to set this mystery card aside over here. I mean, the deck just wouldn't let me stop playing with it. It was like, no, we have to come out and play. I was like, okay, I don't know what we're going to do, but so we decided on a mystery card. Ta-da! So we'll get back to that at the end of this reading, which is cool. And I'm not sure what it will bring to the reading, but so far it's been pretty nice, and it kind of worked things out. So now we're going to add a few cards from this wonderful Light Seer Tarot to the 3 cards from the overview video. We'll go in depth, see what's coming up. Ooh, deep thoughts. Deep, deep thoughts in the... Everything looks deep, right? The colors of the deep, right? Everything looks underwater, but it's not. All right. So let's talk about that 5 of Pentacles. 5 of Pentacles. It's time for you to be paying attention to your money, whether it's working for you or against you right now. I know that we were talking about the budget at work. Last week, you ended up with a small gift given to you. Of course, that small gift came because you had done this whole ridiculous no, it wasn't that. It was cobbled together. It was just something that you had to do really quick, really fast, and make it work. And it worked. It was adequate, but it was out of just leftover junk. It was by no means intended to be a lasting project. And they finally, at the last minute, at the end of the week, found money for you. So you can make something that's going to be more professional, more together, more well done, and will be very good. But now that you have this money, you're like, okay, what do we do with this budget? Okay, paying attention to the money at this time is going to be super important. You may find parts of the original little fake thing that you put together come together in a nice way, in a different way than you thought. Okay, so being aware about that is going to be important. Pay attention to what it is and how it is. You know, sometimes you might find that, oh, maybe this money will be better used on another project that we've been thinking about for a long time, because honestly, what we created is perfectly adequate. And adequate might be just enough, all right? Who knows? We have the Hanged Man showing that there's part of you that wants to see this, has a beautiful vision of what you want it to look like, and it's turning out to be a little different. And you're like, well, shoot, eesh. I feel like you have a tight budget, and when they give you this extra money to redo the thing you just did that was perfectly adequate and worked out, I'm like, well, now I have this extra money. I could totally put it to something else where I really do need it. Yeah, so you're looking at your vision going, what can I make work? What can I do with this? How can I make this work better for myself? So you might take the money they give you to redo the thing you just did and use it for something else. So, right? As long as they don't realize that you're not going to redo the thing, but they might notice. So pay attention to that and see how that works. And of course, you're going to really need to use your better judgment at this time. Don't get yourself in a pickle. If it turns out you're like, okay, they gave us this money for this specific thing, we should use it for this specific thing, it'll be perfect and it'll be lovely, and if I do it on a budget, haha, I can do it over, do it better on a budget, and then we'll have a little extra that we can work on the other thing maybe, haha. Use your better judgment, okay? Don't get yourself in a situation where you don't have what you need, okay? Now we have the Artist, right? This is the place where we're blocked. So this is the big vision. This is this new card in the deck that's different from other tarot decks. There are 2 in this deck, and you got this one for this month. And it really speaks to your big picture idea about what you want to see and what you want to see, and how that's actually blocking you from moving forward right now. And I'm not really, it's kind of well placed when you look at it. You're like, you got the Hanged Man. Things look different than you wanted them to. They look different indeed. So you're remembering your original vision. Like, but I had this great idea. And it's on the back burner. It will block you. So don't let your big vision stop you from appreciating the fact that you can do it on the cheap over here and not worry about that other thing right now, okay? Or figure out how to do both on the cheap with what you have, right? All right, so of course, Nine of Pentacles is blocked. We don't have a ton of dough. You're not in a place to like use a ton of money to do anything right now. You're really very much so in a place where you can't. So hold your breath. Don't overspend on any one thing. But if you find yourself wanting to work on something or work it out, or save the money, just save some of the money, redo the one thing on the cheap, right? And save what's left over so that you can work towards your goal. You'll have like a little cuss jar or something like that, a little hiding hole for some funds that you want to use for something else, all right? And the Eight of Pentacles is here showing that you're not going to be working as much as you think. You're not going to be getting paid as well as you think you should be being paid at this time. So for some of you, this really speaks to you're not able to go to work right now. Whatever's going on, for some of you, this has to do with something else entirely than something at work. This could very easily be you needing to get your finances looked at and taken care of. The vision isn't coming together the way you thought it would, but you're starting to see an opportunity to make things better in your finances, and you're going to need to use a good judgment about how you do it, all right? The big vision, back burner, not going to help you right now. No extra cash laying around at all, and there's no work. So you're not having any opportunity to go and make more money. So you're like, okay, this is frustrating. So now we're talking about getting into the release situation, where maybe you're in that declutter mode, where you're really doing the thing you need to do, where you release a few things, get paid for those things that you release, sell a few things in the garage, and presto changeo, you can create some space in your head for it. In fact, you're going to create a nice foundation financially for yourself just by selling things off, which is kind of a neat idea. If you have stuff to declutter and you want to sell some stuff, this will help a lot, all right? I like it very much for you. That'll be great. And of course, the Eight of Swords shows up to remind you that you're going to have a big idea that you want to sell somebody on. You're like, hey, come on, guys. What if we did this? And then we're like, but if you make it a little bit like them, just put a sprinkling of them on it, make 95% your idea, 5% them, right? Make it smell like them. Make them think it was their idea a little bit. And then presto, they'll buy it. They'll think it's great, okay? So this could be part of your sales pitch to other people. You're like, oh, you don't want to tell anyone you got it for that little. That would be embarrassing. They would think that it was crap. So here, if you pay a little extra, then it won't feel like, it's crap, right? And then you can tell everybody, haha. Anyway, some way or another, you're going to make your idea come out good for yourself, and I really like that, because you'll still be using your good judgment over here. So having these two together is going to be great, all right? So for some of you, it's not a work-related week, but in the end, you're going to work it out, all right? Very cool. Let's get you a message from the Cosmic Oracle. Huh? What do we have for Taurus? It's right here. Okay. I've pulled the same card a couple of times for a given sign. It's been interesting. All right. Do something kind for someone without any expectation. Ha ha! Creating community. I love it. Do something kind for someone without any expectation. This doesn't have to be at home if you don't want to with your neighbors. You can do it, at work. And it would be very kind, and it would be also helpful. And it would help create some good karma, as well as get things moving in the right direction. Correct? Very nice. I like it. Very good. I'm going to put that there. It's soulful. And let's get you a pocket full of rocks, all right? I'm going to dig around in here a little bit, see what we come up with. Aha! We have sapphire, we have black amethyst, and we have hematite. All right, so you're staying grounded with hematite. Hematite's really kind of a cool stone. It's a first chakra stone. that reflects back negativity, but it also, hema, speaking of the blood and stuff like that. So your blood can be at issue this month, or this week, if you notice that about yourself, or you have issues in that department, or you feel a little funny. Go to a doctor. I am not a doctor. I do not profess to be a doctor. If you feel funny, go see a doctor, okay? Don't pretend like I have some authority in that area. I don't. But I can tell you that if you feel funny, you should go see one. Mostly this is a grounding stone, all right? It's a grounding stone. It keeps you grounded, and it helps you reflect away negativity, and I like that very much. That's more metaphysical, more my speed. Sapphire is going to be you speaking your visions into life in your 5th chakra. Very nice. Speaking out, sharing your visions, sharing your ideas, right? You might be hung up, but you're going to share your ideas anyway. And that's okay, because it helps you get where you want to go, right? And if you share them, at least you'll find out what part of them is blocking you and what isn't, so you can make better decisions. Now we have the black amethyst here is going to be a 6th chakra stone for your 3rd eye, and it's showing you how you fit into the universe, how you fit into the world, into how on the planetary level, correct? Right. So there's another one that does it on the more galactic level, shall we say. But here, this is very much so about how you fit in on the world level, okay? And we like that very much for you. We're going to go ahead and set these stones down right here. And we have a mystery card to look at. Dun, dun, dun. Ooh, we got the Emperor. Nice. Well done. Look at that. Of course. And this is a pirate version, so huzzah, right? Looks like a pirate with his foot on his chest. Nice. Well done. He's got a firm foundation in his life. He's got a firm foundation in his ship. This is his room, and all his stuff is around him, and he's got a firm foot on his treasure. So he's not worried about much, and he's done a good job to get here. And I'm very impressed for him. And I want you to know that this is supporting the fact that you're still building a good foundation for yourself, Taurus. This is really about how you are indeed building a foundation for yourself. This is great stuff. You deserve to feel comfortable in this way. And it will come. It will come. It will take a minute, but it will come. All right? Very nice. You don't have to carry those rocks over here if you don't want to. But if you want to carry them, let me know how they work for you. If you don't want to carry them and you want to carry something else, let me know what you're carrying and how they work. I would love to hear about that. All right? Thank you so much for all your likes, shares, and subscribes. It really helps my little channel grow. And I really love you guys. I want you to know what's coming up next week so you can be better prepared. That's what I do here. And I look forward to seeing you next week. All right? Thank you, Taurus.